All right, so now on back to work. Whatever your current work situation is, we're going to try to help you get back on track.
Yes, joining us now is award-winning career coach Ashley Stahl. She is also the author of Your U-Turn. Thanks for joining us. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here with you guys.
Well, we're excited to have you. What are some tips on getting a call back from a potential employer?
You know, one of the most asked interview and networking questions is tell me about yourself. And it happens to be one of the most botched questions. And so my biggest tip would be to really give some thought in advance of how you talk about yourself and the story you tell. Far too often people are regurgitating their resume, and it's really important to take a step back and really evaluate how does your career relate to your life story and some sort of mission or some sort of connection to a higher purpose in your life, and how can you talk about your career in a way that can inspire them, not just to give you a job, but to give you that next step in something that feels more like a life purpose. So first things first, make sure you have a sense of why and a connection to your career that's bigger than just wanting the job.
Yeah, I think that is probably the most loaded question in the world, so be prepared for that one. Tell me about yourself. All right, the reality is so many people have not been able to continue doing what it is that they've trained for, what they have done for years, and so they have to sort of pivot their careers during the pandemic. What's your advice there?
You know, one of the biggest mistakes that a lot of job seekers make is they buy into the belief that they're starting over or that they're losing time. And there's that theory of sunken costs where you tend to hesitate to make a change if you've already put time into something else. But just remember, some of the most interesting careers are not linear, and people, there's always more time. Recent research has shown that people who make a career pivot later in life are happy that they did so. So just remember that your career is about your core skill set. So you just want to ask yourself, what is the skill set that I've been building in the past, and how can I carry that with me into my next job, even if the two seem unrelated? Because soft skills are what is the most important set of skills for the future, more than any hard skill set you can have. And so if you can do yourself that favor and really look at how to talk about your skills in a way that relates to where you're headed, even if you're going a different direction.
Well, what's the difference between hard and soft skills? I've never heard that before.
So when I think of hard skills, I think of something that's more tactical, maybe like an engineer who's doing something that they've been trained to do. Soft skills to me are dealing with conflict at work, communication.
Gotcha.
You know, so stuff like that, really, really important for the future of the workforce. And futurists are claiming that this is number one, with so many robots displacing so many jobs, in addition to what's been going on with COVID.
All right. Tell us a little bit more about, I guess this goes back to your question, be prepared, you know, for the answer. Tell me about yourself, knowing what your core values are and how those relate to those hard and soft skills, as you put them.
Yeah, you know, there's two dynamics that I see in careers, and this is something I write about a lot in my book, U-Turn. The first dynamic is the what of your career. Far too often people get lost in following their passion or following an interest, and they forget that the most important thing in your career, according in my beliefs, is your skill set. And as a career expert and a spokesperson for SoFi, I've been so focused on helping people really take a look at what is that hard skill set as the what of their career. Their core values is the how of your career. Given that 50% or more of people leave their job because they don't like their boss, what we know to be true is how your job looks really matters. And that comes back down to the core values that you hold really dearly. That could be balance, family, authenticity, wellness, whatever those words are for you that are the key ingredients to who you are, they matter for your career. Far too often, people are looking at what job they should take and not about the backdrop of who they're working with, how it's going to look, what the culture is going to be, especially in this remote world that we're working in.
Award-winning career coach Ashley Stahl, thank you so much. Be safe.
Thanks for
be well.
having me.
Good to talk to you.
Now, if you're looking for work, make sure to check out our jobs board at WGNTV.com/jobs. There are dozens of new opportunities posted daily.